Ashtray moon on a rusted hood, card stuck fast to my sweating hands. Your name carved deep in the dashboard, were like a brand. Black suit slick, but the cuffs are frayed. His smile small, knows every lie says. Son, remember every bet you made and the ones you let ride. This is the dealer's death. You don't choose what you get. You can pray, you can bleed, you can pawn your regret, but the house keeps the bloody collect. Yeah, the house keeps the bloody collect. Gravel road like a loading barrel, dragging years that won't let go. Every sin got a shape I felt in the rear view sickly glow. Trailer shakes when the thunder crawls. I stack chips made a busted day. Hear his voice in the paper thin wall saying, boy, you're the one that pays. Oh, you pay. This is a dealer's debt. You don't choose what you get. You can run, you can hide, you can drown it in sweat, but the house keeps the bloody collects. Yeah, the house keeps the bloody collects. Table, bear my name for another round. Signed in smoke, thought I was able to bluff that devil down. Now my veins hum like neon scripture, every promise marked to lose. He's in the doorway, pale as a picture, saying time to pay what you choose. Time to pay. This is the dealer's debt. You don't choose what you get. You can curse every hand, every night you forget, but the house keeps the bloody collect. This is the dealer's debt, written deep in your flesh. You can beg for a break, you can offer what's left, but the house keeps the bloody collect. Yeah, the house keeps the bloody collect. All love. Pumping a dead field, rustling moon on a busted sign. Your name carved in a fence post, mine buried under the pines. Boot prints head in one direction, shot glass tipped in the sink. Dust on every confession, smoke where the sin used to to clean. Black gold whiskey burns like you in my blood. Slow drip, cruel kiss rolling in the flood. Where the fire comes down, flash tucked deep in the glove box, rattling over this ghost town. Your voice rising on the static, sweet as a gun in the hand. Every word a loaded habit, every lie grain of sand. Black gold whiskey burns like you in my blood. Slow drip, cruel kiss rolling in the flood. I trade my halo for one more cursed sip of your heat. Black gold knocks the mercy off my feet. You said, baby, we're just angels falling slow in borrowed skin. But the so easy when that bottle let you in. Now my shadow's on the ceiling, spinning circles in the dark, praying to a poison feeling that keeps rewinding my heart. Rolling in the flood. I trade my halo for one more cursed sip of your heat. Black gold whiskey, you're the wound I love to keep. Still calling you home. Sunburned town, hair broke cross on the hill, dust in my dead soda pills, shells, bar, smurfs, matches line his jaw. Says, son, you ain't leaving till you tell me what you saw. There's gravel in the gearbox, baby. This ride don't roll like it should. Every turn grinds a little too angry, metal in the veins of the wood. Yeah, gravel in the gearbox, baby. Rusting every prayer I say. If the engine don't kill me, this road will drag me away. Backseat goes, blueprint stained in red clay. Old road proof, I keep turning the wrong way. Church bell cracked, still rings on the wrong hour. Moon cut thin like a blade in a cold shower. There's gravel in the gearbox, baby. This ride don't roll like it should. Every turn grinds a little too angry, metal in the veins of the wood. Yeah, gravel in the gearbox, baby. Smoking every breath I take. If the engine don't kill me, this road will drag me away. I hear in the rattle every mile, every mile. Name called in the backlash, you laugh in the oil on the tile. I ain't clean, I ain't guilty, I'm just stuck in the same bad dream. Pedal press to confession, but the wheels only scream. Only scream. There's gravel in the gearbox, baby. This ride don't roll like it should. Every turn grinds a little too angry, metal in the veins of the wood. Yeah, gravel in the gearbox, baby. Blood in every deal I make. If the engine don't kill me, this road will drag me away. Can't shift out of this year. I turn the key. It answers in a language built on fear. One last mile, one last lie in the mirror. Gravel in the gearbox, and the wreck's already here. Judge got a busted halo, saints carved in a cherry wood rail. Cross on the wall hangs sideways, like it's leaning in to watch me fail. Sweat on my neck like sermons, clock on the wall don't move. 12 men chewing on toothpicks, waiting on a damnation proof. Midnight courtroom, you got my shadow on a stand, bleeding out my secret, dripping off my callous hand. If the gavel don't get me, Prosecutor got a Bible, dog-eared on the word stone. Reads out every bad thing like it wrote in my bones. Ex-lover in the back row smirking, lipstick on a styrofoam cup. Every lie I ever told her, here they come, lining up. Midnight courtroom, they got my shadow on the stand, bleeding out my secrets, dripping off my calloused hands. If the gavel don't get me, the ghost in the gallery will. Midnight courtroom, where mercy sits still. Jury looks like my father, disappointed, tired and thin. I see my brother on the bailiff's face, shaking his head again. Hard rain taps on the window, like it's begging them to let me slide. Then the judge says, son, you're guilty, and so am I deep inside. Oh, midnight courtroom, they got my shadow on the stand, bleeding out my secret, dripping off my callous hands. If the gavel don't get me, the ghost in the gallery will. Midnight courtroom, where mercy sits still. They stamp my fate on paper, ink darker than my worst night. But I walked out on my own 2 feet into that parking lot light. 'Cause the sinner said I can't outrun, ain't written in any law book. It's waking up at 3 a.m. to the way that preacher looked. Midnight courtroom, still calling me back. Midnight courtroom, on that long, long track. Neon cross flickers in the windshield dust. Dead town diner, coffee mud and rust. You said, baby, run, but I burned that bridge as well. Now I'm riding with the ghost, and hell is a cold cell. Hell is a cold cell, 4 walls of my own sin. Iron bed screaming when I toss my bones again. Ain't no fire, just the stories that I tell, freezing my chains. 'Cause hell Chaplin's Bible, missing half the songs. God's got a bruise shaped just like my palm. Clock don't tick, just drips from the busted sink. Every drop asking, did you think before you drink? Hell is a cold cell, four walls of my own sin. I'm bed screaming when I toss my bones again. Ain't no fire, just the stories that I tell, freezing my chains, 'cause hell is a cold cell. Key, turn once more. I traded a touch for a ballroom dare. Now the only arms around me are the shadows in the air. Hell is a cold cell where my memories never sleep. Your perfume in the hallway is the only light I keep. If I make it to the morning, I'll still be in this shell, locked with my reflection, 'cause hell is a cold cell. Smoke, one last stain on my breath, still tastes sweet on the tongue of death. If they open up these gates, I'll just drag my chains as well. I ain't leaving, 'cause my hell is a cold cell. Rust on the rail, salt on my tongue, boot prints bleeding through the boards I'm standing on. One last bottle rolling at my heel. You said you meet me if I swore I'd leave for real. Last smoke on the pier, wind keeps stealing that flame. I keep breathing you in till I'm choking on your name. If the tide wants my sin, shaking in my fist. Your lipstick on the cardboard, cut clean through the mist. Sirens past midnight, don't bother coming close. I've already done my damage to the one I love the most. Last smoke on the pier, wind keeps stealing that flame. I keep breathing you in till I'm choking on your name. If the tide wants my sin, let it drag 'em out of here. But I ain't going anywhere on this last smoke on the pier. You said, baby, choose the road, or choose the gun in your blood. I chose the hum of your heartbeat. Now I'm married to the mud. Every promise I ever made you floats out in this black water. If ghosts can't swim, why's your shadow getting darker? Last smoke on the pier, ash falls soft like snow. I keep talking to the dark like it's you I used to know. If the tide wants my sin, let it drag 'em out of here. I'll be praying to the deep with this last smoke on the pier. Match burns down to my crack, dry skin, drop it in the waves. Watch it drown, watch it spin. One more drag, then you disappear. I stay stuck between the shore and that last smoke on the pier. All on my collar, rust on my ring, dust in the Bible where my name used to clean. Neon in the window, buzzing like a bad idea. Her voice in the doorway cut clean through my fear. There's no shelter from the siren when she's calling out your sin. You can run into the darkness, she will drag you back again. Every lie you ever whispered, every promise you let bend. There's no shelter from the siren, she gon' sing you to the end. Whiskey in the rear view, moon in the glass, motel by the graveyard where I burn my past. She said, baby, kiss me in the doorway, and my shadow stay. There's no shelter from the siren when she's calling out your sin. You can run into the darkness, she will drag you back again. Every truth you try to bury, every oath you couldn't mend. There's no shelter from the siren, she gon' sing you to the end. She hums like thunder, low and slow. Oh yeah. Name on her tongue like a death row note. I said, take my body, she said, I own your soul. Now the wind says her name every place I go. There's no shelter from the siren when she's calling out your sins. You can pray into the storm clouds, she will drown out every hymn. Every road I take grows narrow till it circles back to her again. There's no shelter from the siren, she gon' sing me to the end. Black top bleeding in the river, dust on the dash like ash on a hem. Bottle on the floorboard, cracked open conscience, name in my mouth, taste of Tim. Motel Bible with a busted spine, one page torn where your letters used to be. Headlights crawling on the ceiling like spiders. Shadow looks like you to me. This is a silencer's prayer, whispered through grit in my teeth. Every word a burned out flare, going cold in the heat. I ain't asking for heaven, Lord, I just want out of this skin. This is the silencer's prayer, choking on the smoke of my sin. Yeah. Highway hum like a funeral drum, crows on the wild count, one by one. Gun oil stain on a hotel towel, smells like regret and a setting sun. Your voice tucked in my ear like gravel, every state turned to run, run. Just to watch what we were come undone. This is a silencer's prayer, whispered through grit in my teeth. Every word a burned out flare, going cold in the heat. I ain't asking for heaven, Lord, I just want out of this skin. This is the silencer's prayer, choking on the smoke of my sin. Oh, if redemption's just a rumor at the edge of town, I'll follow silencer's prayer, bruised and low under breath, every word a broken dare to the teeth of death. I ain't asking for heaven, Lord, just a dark road and a clean wind. This is a silencer's prayer till the night won't let me begin. Yeah. This is a silencer's prayer till the night won't let me begin. Clock on the wall says 1:45. Neon cross hung over cheap cologne. Judge in the mirror won't meet my eye. Ash in my teeth, taste of old goodbyes. This is a 3 a.m. verdict, no jury, just me and the truth. Every sin sounds loud in an empty, echoing room. I swore I'd outrun my shadow, but it's sitting right here on my boot. This is a 3 a.m. verdict, and the sentence is you. Bottle on the Bible by the motel phone. Name in the ledger under checked out, gone. Your ghost in the steam on a cracked tile floor. I didn't come home on a locked steel door. This is a 3 a.m. verdict, tobacco stain on my soul. Every vow I twisted comes crawling out of its hole. I swore I'd outride the thunder, now it's driving nails through the roof. This is a 3 a.m. verdict, and the sentence is you. I plead guilty to every quiet hurt I left on you. I plead guilty to every long night you sat cleaning my wound. No bed, no deal, just the way it had to be. You walked free, left these chains on me. This is a 3 a.m. verdict, bed cold, cigarette warm. Every scar I earned you reads like a closing form. I swore I'd die on my terms, I'm just waiting out the proof. This is a 3 a.m. verdict, and the sentence is you. 3 in the morning, stuck here with you. He walks in, smell of diesel and rain, cold tone like he crawled out the grave. Boot prints, track mud on the floor. I say he's been here before. He don't touch that silver crown on the shelf behind the bar. Just lights a match, burns it down, one more saint carved into his scars. He's the king of nowhere, ruler of the lost and found. Sits on a throne of busted bar stools in a one-horse burned out town. Raise your glass to the ghost of closing. If you're too far gone to care, you'll find him there in the ragged glare, the king of nowhere. She asks, what you running from, son? He laughs, says, I already run. Deck stacked with faces he knew, all marked with the things he can't undo. Every road he ever took led him right back to this room. Every name he ever loved is another word etched in the gloom. He's the king of nowhere, ruler of the lost and found. Sits on a throne of busted bar stools in a one-horse burned out town. Raise your glass to the ghost at closing. If you're too far gone to care, you'll find him there in the ragged glare, the king of nowhere. He don't pray, he just bargains with the stains on his hands. If the devil wants interest, he can come take his man. But the jukebox keeps howling like a hound on the trail, and his shadow grows taller with each long drawn out exhale. Oh, he's a king of nowhere, ruler of the lost and found. Sits on a throne of busted bar stools in a one-horse burned out town. Raise your glass to the ghost at closing. If you're too far gone to care, you'll find him there in the ragged glare, the king of nowhere. Last call, just him in the chair. Smoke hangs like a crown in the air. Door swing, but there's nobody there. Just a king of nowhere.